Well, we're getting ready tonight for the Eagle Soar. Going to be exciting to see the lesson tonight. Before we start, we'll allow you time for many people to get on and to start viewing. And I want to tell you some interesting things that are happening here at Silent Word Ministries. Today, Donna Condra, name is Donna Condra. She is grading and checking the the Deaf Bible Institute, and it's really exciting to see some of the things that are happening. People from different places in the world are contacting us, and on the internet they're studying the Deaf Bible Institute, and it's exciting to see all of that. Give me just a second here, and we're going to move to the other one here. Let's see. Yeah, right there. And the Deaf Bible Institute, that's this program right here. And there are 20 different lessons, classes that you can study, and interesting altogether. They're grouped together in groups of 5 and 5 and 5 and 5, so really the 4 different courses. And as you study, you begin to learn, and it's exciting. One man contacted us today from Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast. And it was very interesting. I want to read to you what was said. It's very interesting. This man, he's deaf, and he contacted Donna for the Deaf Bible Institute, and he said, "I'm interested in studying the Bible, but I have a problem." His language was 10% English. That's all. And he wanted to study and learn. He speaks the language, French language. And so he said, "How can I study? Can you translate for me so I can learn and study there in Ivory Coast?" And so Donna wrote back, and really they were emailing back and forth today. And she told him, "So really we can't translate here. We do not have French language here. We don't know the French language. And so maybe you can find a missionary near you that can help you." And almost immediately he wrote back and he said, "I know a missionary, and that missionary, it's possible for that missionary to translate." And right now, the deaf person is trying to get the missionary, hearing missionary there in contact with us at Silent Word Ministries. And so they can begin teaching this deaf man in that area, Ivory Coast, and teaching them the Bible. And so it's very exciting. The deaf man, he wrote back and he said, "God is infinitely great." His 10% of English is pretty good. He says, "We have a Fundamental Baptist Church pastors near us here, and they translate English language." And so now this deaf man there in Africa, Ivory Coast, is beginning to study the Bible with us at Silent Word Ministries. That's pretty exciting. And I thought that'd be interesting to see, and thought you'd like that. All right. Tonight our topic is going to be sign language interpreting in deaf ministries. You're an interpreter in church, in deaf ministry, a hearing person. How do you interpret? And tonight we're going to give you some ideas on how to improve your interpreting in your church. First of all, let's pray. Father, bless this time together tonight in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. All right, so first I want to let you know that this little pamphlet here is available there at the internet. If you can go to silentword.org/store, and you go down a little bit, and there's a place that you can type in, and you can search DMO4 right there. I'll tell you at the end also, and I believe you'll be able to find that down there in the comments. We'll put a link down there, and you can just click on it, go there, you can order that, you can download it, it's free, and you can get that, and there are many other things there at the store that you can get will be helpful to you. Tonight I also need to let you know, hearing people, or tell the deaf people, The sign language is going to be a little bit awkward tonight because I'm going to be focusing on hearing people. But you deaf people, as I say different things and tell hearing people, you can support that and say yes, amen, right, and different things down in the comments. Help hearing people learn more about interpreting in their church. The Bible says, make full proof of thy ministry. 2 Timothy chapter 4. When it says, make full proof of thy ministry, really this is written to a young pastor as he's learning to become a pastor, and the admonition is, you need to do full your ministry. And here's the word, ministry. We're going to talk about that word. Then also in 1 Corinthians, the Bible says, let all things be done decently, properly, and in order. And so here it is that we need to have right thinking and right organization in our ministry. One more thing, and I always think this is interesting for sign language interpreters, because sign language interpreters, many times, many interpreters are awkward and nervous. Maybe they are professional, but when you stand and you interpret, you can get very nervous. And so the Bible admonishes us for another language. It says, pray that ye may interpret. And I think that's a good idea and a wonderful admonition from the Bible. So let's talk about the word ministry. Ministry, the sign is ministry. There's ministry and there's ministry. It's not math. Ministry. And the idea, the word is to serve. And many people think, oh, okay, ministry means to serve. Okay, I'm going to sacrifice, I'm going to give, I'm going to help. Yes, but ministry means to take God's word, the Bible, and give it to people, to serve God's word to them. Yes, we need to interpret and help and be involved in ministry with people and helping their needs. Yes, but the idea of ministry is to take the Word of God and give it right to people. God's Word, the Bible, will do its own work on people, and it will help many, many people. If a person will accept God's Word, it will change their lives. Here's the idea of translating. We're going to talk about interpreting tonight, but translating or transliterating, that's to change from one language into equal of another language. Now, it's not equal meaning, it's just equal words. Let me transliterate for a moment. For example, if I wanted to tell you something in transliteration, that means that I would sign every word. Maybe it is not exact English with ing and ness and tion and all of those things. That's transliterating, signing every word. And many church interpreters, I've seen professional interpreters signing every word. Now, today, what we do is not transliterate, because many people that are sitting out there watching will go, word, 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 word. What does it mean? And so what we do is we don't sign word for word. We don't sign words. We sign ideas. And so the idea here is interpreting means to give the meaning. You listen to something, so, oh, I understand what it means, and you interpret the meaning. You can't change the meaning. You can't add more meaning. But what the meaning is, then you give that and you interpret the meaning. The idea here, make it clear. Now that was English, but help the meaning when you interpret to be clear, clear, clear. So a deaf person goes, ah, okay. Now, if a deaf person wants English, give them English. Great. But in most deaf ministries, I have noticed, and in church interpreting, English people, deaf people will watch it, It's tough. Many people in church want the interpreting like this. Give the meaning. He said something. What does it mean? What do I do? What do I learn? That. Okay. Now, this lesson is not going to be technical, how to interpret, how to move your body, how to raise your eyebrow. That's not going to be technical like that. In fact, it's not going to be technical in how to listen and process and give it out. I'm just going to give you some ideas. We're going to scratch the surface tonight and explain some of the ideas about interpreting. How do you interpret clearly? So these are principles. Watch this. First of all, learn your group. Look at me, sign. No. Learn the group of people. What is their education? Did they finish college? Do they read English well? What is their experience? Have they been in church for a long time? Have they been in this church for a long time? So you have to think all these different questions and know the group that is there in front of you so that you can match, as you interpret, you can match them and they will understand. And what is their Bible knowledge? Carlene Camp is going to be teaching a lesson here at ASLI this week. Oh, it's going to be exciting. And her lesson will be, if a pastor says something, how do you make it clear? How does a deaf person understand that? And it'll be a good lesson, and I hope you can come. Then also, the second thing, adjust to your group. If you have a lot of deaf people that are out here, sign bigger, make it clear, help the signs to be understood. Maybe a deaf person is sitting way back in the back. There's no rule that deaf have to sit in the front. And so the interpreter's here, most of the deaf people are here, and there's a deaf person way back there. Don't sign normal small. Sign big so all of the people can see very clearly. Also, do you stand or do you sit? There are different reasons. So think about what are the needs for that group and match the needs of that group. And that's the idea, is matching. Then also sign naturally. Don't go fast. We've already explained in previous classes about that. Don't sign fast. And it's good to sign naturally. Make it easy. Look normal. Don't, and I put in here, robot. Sometimes an interpreter looks like they're a robot and they're signing fast and slow and it's very jerky. Now, that was not a problem with the video. That was me doing that. Okay, so don't, robot or too fancy. Oh, how I love Jesus. So don't try to be fancy. Try to be normal and sign naturally as you sign, as you interpret. Good posture. Okay, I'm going to interpret like this, or rocking back and forth as you interpret. And it can be hard to watch, and people see and they go, and they'll go to sleep, or it'll bother a person. Standing on one leg and interpreting like this. And sometimes you don't pay attention to your posture, to your standing. You should stand up straight and look like you know what you're doing. Maybe you're scared to death, but stand right and look right and present well. If you're sitting on a chair, okay, here's the chair. Don't sit way back in the chair like this. It looks bad. Sit right up on the edge of the chair, right up on the very edge, and so your back can be straight and you can sign and it'll be clear. So think about what your body looks like, straight and right. Then also, use your face and your body. As you're interpreting, don't forget your face. Sometimes an interpreter looks like this. What did the pastor say? I don't know. That song, I don't understand it. Well, but it's a beautiful song. Don't go. So use your face. Make it beautiful. If it's a song that's beautiful, your face, and beautiful. Or if it's a very serious song, low in the grave he lay, Jesus my Savior, waiting the coming day. And from the grave he rose, and change your face and make it match. Emotions, let them flow out. Well, let them flow out of your face. Emotions coming from your face. Expressions. Most deaf people, let me say it this way, the number one complaint that I have seen over the years, deaf people complain against a hearing interpreter, is what? Their boring face. There's no expression. And so think about your expressions. And there's language expressions, up, down, ooh, pa, po, pa, all these different mouth movements. And if you've not taken a class on that, you need to learn how to move your mouth and your eyebrows and all of these things. And again, match what is being said. The message, match that. So don't forget your face. Then also be clear and expressive or expressive. Sign slowly enough that it's clear. I remember many years ago when I began preaching, and I would stand in front of a group of people, and I had one friend that would always come to me before I preached. It was a lady. And she would say, don't sign fast. Slow down. Okay. And I'd stand up and I'd sign too fast. And really, signing slowly so people can understand is much better than trying to sign fast. Spell clearly. Most of us have to really think about it and practice this. When you're spelling, don't try to spell fast. Take your time and spell slowly so it's easy to understand for all the people, because maybe a person is sitting way back there and they may miss it if you spell. And then think in pictures. What does it look like? So show what the expression, show the place where things are. Use your eyes, think pictures, and then also interpret the meaning, not just words, words, words. One of the classes that I'll be teaching at ASLI is the meaning. Take that and as an interpreter, give them the meaning so that it's clear there, from here, clear, there, clear. And I'll be teaching a class on that. And it's very important to communicate the meaning of the message or of the music or whatever's happening. Communicate clearly on that. Next, be loyal to the speaker. Don't add your opinion. Many times I've had church interpreters ask, they say, but what if I disagree with that speaker? What do I do? You sign what he said, because he's speaking, not you speaking. And so what he says, you sign that and follow that. And you don't have the right as an interpreter, the interpreter does not have the right to disagree with that person you're interpreting. The people there need to know what he or she said. All right. And respect the position, the authority of that speaker. Then also you want to be loyal to the scriptures. If, and this is a question many people have, if a pastor or someone in the church is reading verses and they're just reading it very fast, how do you sign that? Do you sign words? What if you miss words? Does that mean that you changed the Bible? And those are big questions that often come. Do the best that you can. Include as much as you can. the whole topic of interpreting the Bible, reading the Bible, and interpreting when that is spoken, the Bible, it's a long topic, but just keep it in mind, do what you can. Now I have two words here, dynamic and literal. If the verse, it's just one verse, boom, probably you can sign every word in that verse because the speaker probably will explain that verse. Now, you will learn the speaker and you will learn what their methods are, and so you'll learn to match what they do. But if they read just one verse, probably what you should do is just sign the words in that verse and then let them explain it, and they'll go and explain it coming up. If they're reading a whole chapter, then dynamic. The other one, word, that's literal. You just sign, you transliterate that. Okay? And then dynamic, and then you can just the chapter is just flying by really fast. So what I like to recommend is you sign the best concept ideas that you can, and you cannot sign everything. There's no way. There's not enough time because the reading is so fast. When the reading is fast, the hearing people are also going like this. So realize that, and so just try to. I don't want to say change the words, but what you need to do is get the idea, the concept from that chapter, and sign that as much as you can. I'm not going to even talk about names. Okay, probably you know why now. So this is a very important idea. Be loyal to the Bible, to the Scriptures. Then also use common sense. Common sense. Allow eyes to follow up here. One time, a pastor, I remember interpreting, it was in Florida, and this pastor, he was saying something about dying to self. And so himself, he did a drama almost, like he was dying, and so he laid down. And at first I started signing what he was doing, and then I realized, no. I said, Deaf, watch. And we sat there and watch, and every once in a while I'd add something to make it clear, and so, and it was finished, the Deaf went, oh, very interesting, whoa, yes. And so allow a person's eyes, if there's something to see, okay, finished, and then interpret. And so use common sense. And then also position where the interpreter stands or sits well in church. If the interpreter is in the corner and there's light, the light's off and you can't see well, it's very difficult for a deaf person to understand the message because it's hard to see. Everything depends on light. And so think about, use common sense in the placement of the interpreter. One pastor, he was standing and preaching and the interpreter was over here. Well, that pastor, he was, I think, like an evangelist, and he started walking down the aisles. Well, the interpreter followed. Hearing people can hear everywhere. But a deaf person has to go, oh, and all the deaf were just cranking their necks around, and no. The interpreter stands here and just follow, your eyes can follow the if a deaf person wants to look around, great. But just use common sense with that. All right. And then learn your, oh yes, we've already done that one. Okay. All right. Now, become the speaker. Become. You interpret, you're not the speaker, but you need to become like the speaker, and then you sign like, just you're copying what the speaker is doing and what the music is doing. Allow, and here's a word, maybe you do not know this word, affect. It's not effect like this, but it is this. It is what a hearing person is experiencing. Then you can portray that to the deaf group. It is so cool. When you hear something And there's emotion that dwells up inside of here. And you can sign it, you can change it into signs clear so that emotion will go out this way, and a deaf person sitting there going, ah. And that is just so cool. When you're doing this, be careful. Don't steal that emotion. Don't look like you are the key or you are the, look at me. That's not it at all. It's got to match what that is. So it's here. It's not, oh, thank you. And that's really, it's too much. All right. And then when you get to the invitation time, and you're interpreting at the invitation time, and maybe a church will give an invitation, people, you come forward, you kneel and you pray and you talk to the Lord and you make a decision. I have seen before interpreters that say, the pastor says, okay, every head bowed and every eye closed. And so the interpreter goes like this. Well, now the interpreter can't see what is happening with the deaf people here. The pastor eyes are open. So what you need to do is keep your eyes open. Okay, every head is bowed, hearing. So deaf, look this way, don't look around. That's the reason for it. And so you pay attention. Don't look at your neighbor, you look this way, all right? And that will help a lot. And then for counseling, the best way to handle this is if a deaf person comes forward and they want to talk to somebody. If you have another person that knows sign language that can go and talk to them, that is best. I've been in places before where there was just one person, me, interpreting, and then a deaf person came forward and the pastor said, would you please talk to that person? So then you have to excuse yourself and you have to make sure that everything is fine with all of the different places, because your role will change sometimes as a church interpreter. There's not enough interpreters. There's just a lot of reasons, and so you have to be careful about that. I realize that the Code of Professional Conduct says that you're not supposed to counsel as the interpreter, and that's true. As the interpreter, you don't counsel. He says, should I go? You say, yeah. No, you don't do that. But when your role changes and you step out of that role, then you have a different role, and you need to understand that. Always in confidence and be very careful. That's a different topic entirely. All right, now, what is your level right now? What is your skill right now? Whatever it is, seek to improve. And of course, you're watching this video. Seek to improve. Don't just say, I'm good enough. Go to classes. Come to our ASL Institute. Hopefully we're going to be announcing something soon where many people, this time of coronavirus and you can't go out, and so we're seeing if we can put it online, but we're not able to announce that at this time. Or maybe I just did announce that. Okay. But always be improving, all right? And then realize one interpreter is not competing against another interpreter. It doesn't matter who signs best. I'm better than them. No, I'm better than you. La, 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 la. Stop it. And there should not be any competition between the different interpreters. And here's some ideas. If they don't understand the way that you sign, then change your signs and sign the way that they understand. Use your face for signs. If people can see it, don't sign it. Okay, and then, or if it's easy to sign, don't try to find a sign. Use the easy sign. Maybe a gesture. A gesture would be better than a sign at some times. Don't wait to become perfect. When I improve and I get way up here and I'm perfect, then I will start signing. No, sign. Talk to deaf people. Practice and get involved in the deaf ministry before your signs get perfect. Because don't wait until you're just absolutely perfect. And then realize, sign each part of the service differently. Songs should be beautiful and singing like this. Maybe they're fast, maybe they're slow, maybe they look off, maybe they look at the people, but they're more smooth. And then the announcements, they're just like normal talk. And then there's a sermon, and the sermon can be very different depending on the pastor and the church and what happens in the church. And so realize that every part of the service is different. And then here, use directional signing. Now, what I mean by that is, naturally you're going to turn like this when you're doing communication, this person and that person. But what I mean by this is, let's sign, I have chosen myself to always sign, Jesus and God is up here on my right. And the devil and bad and hell is over here. Good is up there, bad is down there. God is up here, the devil is down here. Jesus is up here, and the world is down here. And so you see these two. And it just helps to remember, it helps you to be clear. Sometimes even in one sermon, it's very easy to get confused, and then where's God? Here, here, here. So always put, sounds strange, but from an interpreter's perspective, always put God in the same place and the devil in the same place, all right, when you're signing, all right. Interpret for their understanding. And then remember that words have different meanings. One of the classes in ASLI this year also will be, when you have one word in English, there's a lot of different meanings for that one word. And we sign meaning. We do not sign words. And if you're interested in that, we will be producing some more things to help you with that. Realize also that you're interpreting both the language and the culture of deaf people. So when the song says, I lift my voice, you could sign blah, 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 like that, rather than say something about your voice. You're not signing the words. If the eyes are something important, deaf people watch the eyes, and so think eyes, don't think ears. And sign with the culture of deaf people. And then also, and we're getting close to the end, never lose your burden or your heart for deaf people. Hearing people realize, don't love sign language. Love the people that are right out there. The people, who they are. Hearing people can become set back and apart. Sometimes an interpreter can kind of be up here. Don't lose your heart for these people. And then never stop. So many people have got involved in deaf ministry, and they realize, oh, this is tough. Woo, it's hard. A lot of time. Woo, my family, and they quit. And when a person backs off, a deaf person says, yep, same as all the others. They quit. I've now been involved in deaf ministry since 1976. That's a lot of years. Sometimes it's been tough. Sometimes I've wanted just to back away and quit. Sometimes it's been hard being a missionary. But I realize that it's the people. There's need. The Bible, how are they going to understand the Bible? And it's not that they need me, and God does not need me, but who? And so never stop, and never stop working and ministering with the deaf. Never stop learning, studying. I see how they did that. And then copy those signs. Realize this, that we need to build the ministry. Build the ministry, the deaf ministry. Seek to reach other people and tell them about Jesus Christ. Help them to accept Jesus Christ as their Savior. Help them to learn the Bible. Build the ministry. So we've talked about interpreting in deaf ministries. We get back to interpreting, and it's this. We interpret the message. Whether it's preaching the song, somebody's talking and saying something, but we're interpreting a point. Give the meaning. Take this, how wonderful it is to understand this as a hearing person as you listen. And then you take this and you give it this direction in signs, you interpret. And when you're doing this, and there's understanding happening, oh, how thrilling that is. Give the meaning, explain, help the meaning be clear. So let's go back to the verse. And the verse says, make full proof of thy ministry. Make full proof. So your interpreting is not job. There are professional interpreters and they do a job. But we in church, we're doing a ministry. Yes, we need to improve. Yes, we should seek to learn more. Yes, we need to become more skilled and professional in our ways. Yes, but we are a ministry. We seek to take God's word and give it clearly to people that are in front of us. And so, proof or show your ministry. It's very sad when an interpreter will come, interpret, finish, and leave. And deaf people really can feel very, they're not part of our group. Ministry takes time. Ministry is involved with the people that are there. I'd like to encourage you to go to our website, silentword.org, here, and get this. Now, there are different colors, I realize. Sometimes with our books and pamphlets, the colors change. Our goal is not to have one color. Our goal is to have this message go out, and so sometimes it'll be a different color. We don't care about that. What is interesting and what is important is to take this, the ideas that we shared here tonight, and give it. Maybe you know another person that could benefit by reading this little pamphlet. And you can read it faster than I explained it because there's a lot I added to it as well tonight. But give this to somebody and help people understand how to interpret better in the deaf ministry. And then at our website, silentword.org, there's a whole lot there that is to help you in your deaf ministry. We are here for you. We are here to serve. And our desire is to be a blessing to you. I hope you're enjoying the Eagle Soar lessons. Please make any comments down below, and we'll be happy to respond back to you. And we look forward to seeing you in the future, especially as things open up. Then we look forward to seeing you come to us or in some of our meetings out in different places that you can come and meet us there. But our desire is for deaf people to understand the gospel, to take them the Word of God and see God do His work in their lives, just like He did in mine. And so tonight, God bless you. Good to have you here. And for the deaf people, again, let me apologize for the English signing tonight because I've really been focused on hearing people. I've tried to do both, but focused on hearing people. And thank you for your patience. We see you again. God bless you. Bye.